All right. Hello, everyone out there in, I don't know, internet land. Good to have you here. My name is Paul Traney. I'm going to dive into Fresco and Illustrator, basically making a page for the Adobe coloring book, which is going to be super fun. Feel free to chime in. Would love to say hello to you. I see you, Lizette. Awesome. We're going to get this started right now. It's good to have you here. Again, I'm going to be using Fresco, which is right here, on my iPad with Apple Pencil. And I'm going to be drawing in vector and then jumping over into good old Illustrator. All right, so it looks like everything's good. So just so you know, we have this Adobe coloring book. Just gave just a little gift from us to you to, I don't know, keep you busy if you're at home, and hopefully you are. But yeah, so this week is all dreams, by the way. I'll go ahead and post that in chat. Give me 1 second. There you go. Just so you could download those pages and color them. Shameless self-promo because I did one of those pages. But I'm going to do a new page this week, so this will be fun. It's all about Mermay, so Mermaids. I'm going to make a mermaid is what it comes down to, okay? Hopefully that works for you. But yeah, you can go ahead and download it, check it out. Let's actually see what's out here. We have... yeah, here's all the pages. Super fun. So we're going to make one of these is the idea. At least see how far we can get. Good to have you here, Gabby. Hi, y'all. Hello from Chile. Alexis. Cool. Frank from San Francisco. And Panama City, Panama. Does that sound right? Cool. Well, good to have you here. I'm going to go ahead and just switch gears. I'm going to jump into my iPad, which again is right in front of me. And I'm going to start quite simply, to be honest with you. Let's go in here. Let's see. There we are. Here I am on my iPad in Fresco. Adobe Fresco allows you to draw both vector and then raster as well. So that's what I'm going to use it for. Anna from Mexico, good to have you here. Bangladesh in the house. Canada as well. Cool. UK, Netherlands in the house. Patricia, love the Netherlands. Ciao from Italy. Cool. People from all over. I want to give you a warm welcome. Hopefully everybody's staying safe and everything's working out okay, and everybody probably needs a haircut. I know I do. So let's dive into this. So I can go ahead and draw, by the way, using these different tools. So again, I can kind of come in and start to create somewhat of a mermaid, right? You get the idea. That looks like a mean mermaid. But let's just go ahead and erase that. I actually have a number of different tools I can use, a number of different brushes. I'm going to actually go into effects, and just to show you some of these, I might need this leafy line, by the way. Look at this leafy line. This is gorgeous because this leafy line looks like seaweed to me. So again, I might need these. I'll just go ahead and draw a couple of those. That's kind of the idea. That's what you get in Fresco. What I'll also do in Fresco really fast is I'll lock transparency, and then I can paint with, ready for it, let's just go soft round opacity, change the color to green, right? I can paint, say, just the tops of these one color, and the bottom could be purple. You get the idea. So it's super fun what you can do. But let's get into my project. What I'm going to do is, and again, just use this image as basically like a template. So I have this image that I've imported, by the way, from actually Creative Cloud. That's where I pulled it down from, okay? And I got it off of Adobe stock, but what I'm going to use here is just this image. Take the transparency down, because we already have our mermaid that we can work with, right? Notice how I can kind of rotate this. I can zoom in on this face. I can go to a new layer, make sure I have a different brush. We'll go with the basic round, black, 1 point type in size. So hello from Greece. Anna, we're trying to hit all the countries. I wonder if that's possible. I mean, it is possible, I think. Almost all of them, actually, technically. Louisiana's here. T. White's in the house. What's up, T. White? Good to see you, man. So yeah, that's all I'm going to do is kind of start with this face. Remember, I have a pretty thin vector brush because I'm going to use this for Mermaids. So that's just the idea, is going through, outlining this face. Now, notice it's a little rough, okay? I can adjust the smoothness right over here. Crank up the smoothing. So there might be like a little bit of a delay, but if I undo that, I'm gonna get a just cleaner line, I feel. And I'll zoom out a little bit. I typically feel like I get a cleaner line that way with that little bit of a delay, going in some shorter strokes like so, like that, outlining this face, like so. Based on pressure, it's adjusting the thickness of this line. All right, go like that. My smart speaker's talking to me, that's what that was. Go up here. And since this is for a coloring book, I'm trying to keep these as sort of like complete shapes. So making sure this goes down here, and kind of like all the lines should kind of connect, because you need to know kind of what to color in, okay? And again, this is vector, so I'm going to be able to actually paint this if I cared to. I could paint this in Illustrator, as you may know. Around like that. There's the ear. Ear is kind of big, but you get the idea. All right, let me see if you guys have questions. Look at new comments. Costa Rica, wow, everybody is here. Good to have you here. Oh yeah, actually Sabine, a special shout out to Sabine from Denmark, which is home to the Little Mermaid, which I visited. So we'll just do that, draw the eye. Trying to keep these complete shapes, do something like that. You get the idea. So it's going to be outlining a lot of these elements like that, okay? Because they will color that, but you do need to know the nose, where that nostril is. Let's do this and zoom out a little bit. There we go, like that. Okay. Cool. Hopefully you guys are starting to catch a vision. We're going to have to color in the lips, of course. We'll outline those. We'll get all this shading, right? Because they might want to color this in. And it starts to create some depth with this face. Like that. Okay, cool. Yeah, you get the idea. I'm going to move on. Actually, I want to kind of get into some cool things. Hopefully you guys like this. Because this honestly is pretty easy. Let's face it, all I'm doing is tracing, but I'm gonna go really fast because I'm only gonna go for like 20 minutes today. Maybe 30, because I'm gonna get into creating brushes in Illustrator, which is going to be fun. And working with patterns, by the way. Hello, Abdullah from Montreal. Donnie Lowe from Canada. Zoop, zoop. Let's bring this in like that. Get the fingers, every single part. Let's move through this quickly because I want to show you so much more, right? I love these shapes. We're just creating these nice outlines. Okay, you get the idea. Around like that. Go up the arm. Doesn't have to be perfect. Because the great thing is, I'm going to clean this up in Illustrator. And thank you for joining me wherever you are. Wherever this day may find you, or this night. I'm broadcasting from beautiful Denver, Colorado, where it's a little windy out, but that's okay. That is okay. There we go. There we go. Let's get into this last part, and I am almost done. Let's work it out. Let's work it. By the way, I'm doing everything on one layer. I'll probably, for the fin, I'm going to break that out into a second layer. So, adding a new layer. For this long tail, I'm actually going to be filling it with a nice pattern once I get on the desktop. But I will make sure it's a complete shape like that. Making sure, actually, that this is all on one layer. So let's just turn that off, right? I'll just kind of make sure this is a complete filled layer that I get to work with. And by the way, I would still have like this as a shape right here, something like that. Okay, down here, this would also be a separate shape that I could fill with a nice pattern. okay? And in here, I'm just going to do some simple lines. There we go. That's what we'll go with. Turn this back on, wait for it. There it is. Let's erase this and have some fun with the hair. And then I'm going to get on the desktop. Let's see. I've been going for, where's my time? 10 minutes. Oh, shoot. I got to hurry. 10 minutes in Fresco. Another 15 or so in Illustrator on the desktop. I can have some fun with this flowy hair being long, right? Going like that. Just exaggerating this whole gorgeous mane like that. Again, I could always change this. Oh, my plan was to do this on a different layer. I could always undo just by tapping twice. Like that, okay? New layer, so we're gonna have 3 elements. Let's have that go like that. Let's do these fun swooshies like that. Like that. Doing this on a different layer because there's a chance that I'm gonna wanna change it. It's just gonna go around the hair like that. There you go. You get the idea. Okay, cool. That is done, right? Let's turn off that background, right? This is the fundamental shape that we have, right? A number of things I could do here, by the way. I don't really need to do anything. I could just go ahead and close that. Here's my file. It's just called document 10, right? I could rename this to Mermaid 2020. Okay, like that. Saving that. That's going to get synced to my desktop. Give me 1 second. Over here in Photoshop, by the way, disregard that. That's from earlier. File open. This is in Photoshop. And here it is, Mermaid 2020. Oh, shoot. Sorry. Here we go. On my desktop. Here is this particular file, Mermaid 2020. Let's zoom in on that. Can I? Boom. There it is. Right? So I could open it up on my desktop right now. Okay? Let's open that up in... Currently in Photoshop, I made a PSDC. Disregard that photo. That was from earlier. And here's all these vector layers off to the side. So let me just kind of do a couple things. Let me jump back here because I'm going to do this another way as well. So I'm going to open up this same file. Okay. I'm going to do a quick export as a PDF. So there's 2 ways I can get it on my desktop. A PDF and, of course, and it is sent. Boom. And a PSDC. So let's switch back here. Let's get out of this craziness. Here it is. It actually opened it up. On my desktop, here's that particular file. Right? This one is a little bit more baked. Let me know if you have questions. Working in Adobe Fresco. Yes, correct. Ooh, why am I opening this up in Photoshop? There it is in Photoshop. Let's close that. I don't need it there. I want to open this up in Illustrator, by the way. So, give me 1 second. Grabbing this, opening this up. Wait for it. There it is. And now I can start working with this particular file. This is one I spent a little more time on, by the way. Okay, so you can see how I've transferred it over. I actually reoriented it a little bit, right? And let's actually get to how I can actually fill this in. Let's take this one that we did. Let me open this one up. Yeah, this one's not bad. I might be able to use this one too. All right, so again, here it is. This is what I want. This is, I want to actually take this and... I'm so sorry, everybody. I keep opening these up in the wrong app. I have too much going on here. Here we go. PDF in Illustrator. There we go. This is what I want. Okay, cool. See right in here. And we have these different clip groups. Okay, especially this part down here. Well, this is what I want to do. I want to... kind of break these out a little bit more, to be honest with you. Each one comes in with a clipping mask, by the way, that you can go ahead and release. I want to work on creating a texture for her lower half, her fin, basically. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to grab an ellipse. Here's my lovely ellipse. Let's make it, let's give it a black circle. Take this down to 0.5. Chop off the top. Change this, the uniformity of this. I'm going to change it to, the width profile to width profile 1. So it's going to be thin on both ends. Again, I'm going to make some scales. That's all I'm doing. It's going to be really easy, done really fast. So, bringing that over like that. Let's bring this down. Let's bring this over. Have that connect. There it is. Let's compare it to just the current size. It doesn't matter too much, but I'm just going to be mindful of the size. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to edit, object, pattern, make. We're making scales. That's what we're doing right now. It almost works. It almost works, but you notice how we need one more. Well, let's just go ahead and do that. Drag one right over there, and now we have complete scales, right? Click done. That is now a pattern, okay? And I can go ahead and use it anywhere I want, right? Give me 1 second. I have some clipping masks in here, and I'm just gonna release some of these. There it is. Get rid of that one. There we go. Okay, I got one more in here. Wait for it. There we go. All right, there it is. This is what I can do to make this. This is a trick. Are you ready for this? Hopefully this makes sense, Bruno. So I created all these outlines. They're actually not complete shapes. So what I can do is, let me actually come in here. I'm going to use this live paint bucket right over here, okay? Because I want to fill this area with that pattern, okay? So you ready for this? I'm going to go over here. Here's my pattern that I'm selecting. This is the one that was just made. Let's view this a little larger. There's my pattern I made. I want to fill in this area right here. I go to the live paint bucket, right? I select everything. I click. It makes it a paint group, okay? And now it fills it in, right? Like so. You get the idea, right? We can click right in here and add it there. Now you'll notice that it's going kind of the wrong direction, obviously. So what do we need to do there? Come in here, select that, expand it, and this shape right here, this is what I want to change, the rotation. So I'm going to double click on the rotate tool, and then I'm going to turn off transform objects, because I don't want to transform the objects. I want to rotate the pattern. So hopefully it, wait for it. That's what is selected. Double clicking. And now I'm rotating that pattern, right? So you can see that I have it going the right direction now, right? Click OK. I want to do the same thing, but I want to scale it this time. So double clicking the scale tool right over here, don't scale the object, but scale the patterns, right? So now we can make this a tighter pattern and make it look a little bit better. Clicking OK, that is done. Notice how I applied that pattern right in here. I can hit I for eyedropper, click on that pattern. I can rotate this one maybe independently of the other one. Notice how it's going to be going a different direction. Maybe it's a little tighter, right? That's what I do to the different parts. So just kind of like smaller scales in different parts, as you can see. Maybe we'll make this like 80, like that. Okay, cool. You get the idea. Let's jump ahead a little bit to this one. This is the one I made earlier. Okay. Thank you, Julia. You've been experimenting with round tripping in Fresco, but the lack of closed vectors was really frustrating. Exactly. It doesn't have closed vectors. That's why I use live paint bucket, make it one continual group, and now you have some fun things. Even with this tail, kind of what I did here, it's like, hey, you know what? I have a different pattern over here that I can use. Let's select same, fill color. But for the tail right in here, I was like, okay, what do I do? Do I do dots? Do I do dashes? Do I do lines? I ended up settling on dots, but you can see those are all just like one shape right there. Okay, let's get into some more of this, shall we? We got some fun bubbles here. I'm gonna remove that because check this out. We wanna give her some bubbles. Here is just 2 circles, right? That we're gonna turn into a cool scatter brush. So we're gonna take both of these, we're gonna drop them into my brushes panel, okay? And then from here, we're gonna scatter it. So this will be my bubble brush. Let's go ahead and make all of these random, except for the last one because the lighting is always gonna come from the same location, the same spot. So we'll do 50, 150, 50, 150 on either side of this line, scattering again on either side of that line. The spacing, varying the scatter, that sort of thing. So that's what I've done. I made this brush right up here. Notice how I made it earlier. Yes, I did my homework, but here's my bubble brush. Zoom out. Let's grab N for pencil, why not? Selecting that brush and then drawing a line up, and now we have bubbles, right? That looks interesting because it looks like it's actually all on one side of the line, by the way. So I could always double click in here and see where I screwed up. 50. And again, I could play with these numbers and you can see it change accordingly, right? This should be a negative number. That's the problem. This should have been a negative 50. And that'll put it on the other side of the line. So that was my problem, but it's super easy to make bubbles now, because that's what I'm gonna do. I'm ultimately gonna add a bunch of like fish that are gonna have bubbles coming up. They're all controlled by the line, the stroke thickness as well. So once I get some fish in there, it's gonna work out much better. By the way, I could do some other things with these. Like, let's get some seaweed in there. Why not? I have all these various shapes as well, okay? So I can take this, drop it in here, make it an art brush, right? And all it's gonna do is scale it, right? There it is, just made it hit N. Let's go ahead and draw. Let's actually apply that art brush. Let's make this a little bit thicker. And now we have some cool art brushes. I'm gonna do this one more time. I'm gonna take all of these. You ready for this? Let's take these. I'm gonna take this down a little bit smaller. Not that small. Making an art brush again. I just changed the thickness of that line because I really want this seaweed to be even bigger like that, right? In proportion to her, right? So that's what I'm going for. We could have some fun seaweed actually kind of behind her is the idea. Carell? Alexander? Really? Carell? Is that what I'm seeing in there? You're crazy, man. You're crazy. Yeah, so why can't we save brush settings such as always opening in random? You are saving your brush settings. This is one thing I'm doing right now, by the way. A lot of times it will set back to your default line brush when what I want to do is I want to paint consistently. I want to paint a lot with this seaweed brush that I made. The reason it's doing that is because I'm not having it default back to the original basic appearance line. It's going to use the last used setting. So make sure that's unchecked, and it will always use your last used brush. Okay, you get the idea. I'm gonna do this one more as well. There's some more I could do. Gosh, so much I could do. I'm gonna kind of wrap up here soon. This one, I could drop this brush in. We can make this an art brush. Maybe I don't want this swirl to get stretched out. So I'm going to turn on stretch between guides. And this is basically saying, hey, don't stretch this end. Don't stretch the curved end, but stretch this part, right? That's what I want. I'll click OK. Selecting my brush. And there you have it. We can have some nice curls. Okay, cool. But I think we have the start of a nice page for Adobe Coloring Book. Make sure you use that. Gotta run. Candy, thanks for hanging out. Yeah, exactly. Sir Virginia, that's exactly what I'm talking. Turn off this in the appearance panel and you will no longer have that problem. Yay! That's awesome. Fantastic. Awesome. Melanie, glad you're learning a lot. I think this is looking pretty good. What I want to do, my ultimate goal for this, once I have some seaweed, the seaweed that I want, I'll probably take a lot of this, put it on a new layer beneath her, like that. This is going to do something like that. Kind of coming up from the bottom there, but I want to have, I'm actually going to make let's turn this off. There's going to be like the sea, the water line right here. And I'm going to have, hopefully the goal is to have a guy leaning out of a boat up at the top, right? So that's what I have going on. What I will probably do is also color this as well, just as an example. But yeah, you get the idea. So have fun, by the way. I think it's going to be good. So that's all I got for you. One more thing, actually. I know I said I was going to go and everything, but check this out. I can, with the appearance panel, oh no, I don't know if I have it colored right. Oh, I think I do. You ready for this? The appearance panel? Love this. Love the appearance panel. Because look, I already filled in the fin with the scales. I can add a new fill color. Let's put this one down here. For the second fill color, we'll go ahead and just give it a green, okay? And that's how we can, sort of like colorize this and still keep the pattern, right? So that's the goal. Where's this Adobe Coloring Book? You can see we're on, this week is all about dreams. Here's the link. I'll just paste it in chat and I'll hopefully pin that to the top. Oh, thank you so much. Frank, beat me to it. Here's the link to just kind of keep in mind for even upcoming weeks as well. Pinning that comment, there you go. Awesome. Pinning it a couple places, why not? All right, cool. That's all I have for you. Hopefully you're inspired and hopefully you're ready to create your own coloring book, which I think would be super fun. I'd probably grab this gradient, maybe go like that, right? Some fun stuff that we can do, as you can see. So thanks so much for tuning in, everybody. You can see all my videos and all that fun stuff elsewhere. I kind of have it all over the place, just so you know. I don't know where you're viewing this at, but yeah, you can go follow me on even YouTube, Paul Tranny, pretty much everywhere. On Instagram, it's PTRANI, and I'll hopefully post the final at some point. Yeah, just reading some comments, Chris. Yes, just keep in mind your layers and all that good stuff. Glad you like it. Well, everybody have a beautiful day. I really appreciate you hanging out with me. Please stay safe. Drink lots of water. Make sure you're washing your hands and all that good stuff. But I appreciate you. And we'll hopefully see you again soon. I'll be live streaming, by the way, just so you know, on behance.net/Adobe Live tomorrow morning. So keep that in mind, just as, again, a shameless plug right down here. I will be doing some fun things. So that's all I have for you. Join me there next time. Thanks so much, everybody. Have a good one.